Inhumans has premiered. We have Punisher news in this episode 146 coming at you now.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's Marvel movie news.
Has all the moves, y'all.
Look, he has good moves.
Punisher
He's the Punisher.
Moves. It's Punisher moves news. We are the Marvel movie news. This is episode 146. We're coming to you from Queens, New York, because why not? Birthplace of Peter Parker,
There
Punisher,
are happier things in Queens.
Terrigen clouds to get rid of Thanos.
No.
Yeah, all the queens. We're here to tell you all the news from all of the studios and why you should be just as excited as we are. And please subscribe to us on iTunes at Marvel Movie News. That's YouTube. You can also find us at youtube.com/Popcorn Talk Network, and also through the Popcorn Talk website. And follow us on Twitter, please, at Marvel News PTN or at the Popcorn Talk. There was a lot of popcorn talk in that. That other voice that you heard with me is coming back. You know, we're going to retcon his death.
The voice of doom.
The voice of doom.
Hey, guys. I'm excited to be back.
Also known as That Zach Wilson.
Yes. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, all the places at That Zach Wilson. I'm so happy I could come back.
I'm so glad to have you. This is great.
I can only stay for a little bit, but
Yes.
I have some stuff to get off my chest.
Yes. Well, we had to have you here for Inhumans. We had to. And then also on our social media and our associate producer, we have Ollie Dreamboat.
Hi guys, follow me on all social media platforms at Ollie Dreamer. I'm so excited to hear what Doom has to say about Inhumans. So stick around, please.
Yeah, and if you guys will tweet the link out for our show, then that will get retweeted to you by our engineer, Anthony.
Hello, everybody. I'm here to retweet everything and work the ones and twos. So,
There he is.
welcome
He's
to the
doing
show.
tech for us. So yeah, how was everybody's Labor Day weekend?
Oh
off.
gosh, well I saw Inhumans, so
There-
it was.
So you went to the movies.
I
Great.
did, yeah.
Yeah,
You saw
week-
your first
I had-
IMAX.
It was my first IMAX.
It was your first
and-
IMAX.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh.
It's overrated. I don't care about the quality, but
Oh my goodness.
I care about what I see and if it's good or not. But.
No, I actually love IMAX as a format. Depending on the movie you see, I think it's amazing. Yeah, weekend was great.
Okay.
With one notable exception, but we're going to talk about that.
Yeah, so we're just going to start off with Inhumans because we only have Doom for a limited, it's a limited appearance. You know, it's a limited edition to
Yes.
have Doom for a
I can
guest.
only take corporeal form for so long.
There you go. So Jeff Loeb, he's defended Marvel's vision for Inhumans. He told Comic Book, was it Comic Book Resource? That he felt Inhumans was a story better suited to the small screen because of the characters. And if we all remember previously, Inhumans was going to be a movie, and then it just kind of got shuffled off the movie coil, so to speak.
the rumor
into
that I
television.
heard was that when the Perlmutter and Feige feud came to a head,
Oh, nice.
because Feige got control over the Marvel movie, universe,
Yeah.
so the
Which,
Marvel movies.
happy
Feige
about that.
doesn't have to answer to Perlmutter anymore, even though he's technically above him in the chain. But
Yeah.
Perlmutter retained control over television and publishing, and what I heard is that Perlmutter took Inhumans with him as part of that, whole restructuring.
Well, you know, when you have to divide up the goods in a really good relationship that goes sour.
Yeah.
You know, some people get, Avengers and other people get Inhumans. But for this, what Jeff basically says, I'm going to paraphrase this because he does go in depth with some of the things that he's saying. But why he wanted small screen with it is that he wanted to ground the characters and be able to take time in order to get to know our villains. And then that's something that tends to happen with Marvel. I feel like you don't get to know villains as well as you could. And then when you do get to know a villain, like let's say Kilgrave from, Netflix Marvel, then it's like, yes, you really get to know them, and they come from a different place for you. So I totally understand about wanting to do that. And then Inhumans what? Medusa was part of the Frightful Four and everything like that. They're not heroes per se, but they can be.
It depends on the story you're reading.
It really does. It really does. So, but Jeff also goes on to say, in the first 2 hours alone, there are 600 visual shots. And that is not something that we have ever done or ever taken on. Each of those experiences pose different challenges while you're trying to make a regular television show. A lot of people came to us at the beginning of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. last season and said to us, how are you going to do Ghost Rider? That was a feature property. How are you ever going to compare with a feature property? I think we held up pretty well, not just for television.
They nailed Ghost Rider for me and for a lot of people.
So,
that was a great
there.
way to show off that character. So I get what he's saying there.
Yeah.
But Inhumans is because it's not one person. It's not like a bunch of like
not.
S.H.I.E.L.D. agents that don't really need any visual effects. And then one guy who like when he wants to turn it on, turns it on. It's like, oh, this person has like hair that is
prehensile
always
yeah, with, changes with her moods and is a weapon amongst other things.
That said, like I get what he is saying. Like I loved the idea of this as a TV show because TV offers you a way to live with a character and grow with a character and see how they go over time. A 2-hour movie is often not enough time to get to know somebody and to like see them change. That's why television has become like such the bigger medium that it is now, and like the best storytelling, in my opinion, these days is on TV.
I could definitely agree with you there. And just think about it. It's so intimate. It's right there. It's in your home. It's on your home flat screen. So with the Inhumans premiere, there were mixed fan reactions with it. The stars themselves talked about that. We have Ken Leung. He was Karnak, or he is Karnak. And he basically says that they realize that there's a lot of people that love the comics, that they've been around for decades, and that it remains to be seen how people will accept something in its own iteration of something that they've loved for so long. And then Oron, Sonia Bomores, and Oron is a character, you remember, she's the one with the ears.
Yeah, she doesn't have the ears.
Yeah, parabolic. She has the parabolic hearing. But apparently she didn't have the ears, perhaps yet. Okay. Well, she also addressed that there were a lot of similarities between Game of Thrones with it. She says that there are some, sure, that of course they've got I'm going to butcher his name, Iwan Rheon.
Oh, that was close. Ewan
Rheon on our show. So that kind of makes people think of Game of Thrones, but it's unique. The Inhumans each have their own superpower. So then the premiere itself has drawn in a lot of interesting reactions from people. Yes, it is 0% on Rotten Tomatoes right now.
It also, I looked at it though, it says 0%, but it's not actually showing many reviews, so I don't think it's actually
It's just 11 reviews right now. It's just none of them are fresh.
And none of which are top critics. They're all like the minor, So yeah,
give it some time. There's been some positive buzz too. I mean, we have a number of positive. Well, from smaller outlets, yes. Like, the main thing that people are saying is that it's fun, and then I like this one from Sean Madden from the Marvel Report. He says, I'm going to just come out and say it. I loved Inhumans. Rihanna and Mount are so darn good. Cannot wait to see more of Kristian and Lockjaw. So, I mean, something to think of with Inhumans is they do have some stellar talent.
Yes.
On casting. They have Anson Mount, and then have Ewan Rheon. So, I mean, that's something to be said for this particular property. So, talking about interesting reactions, and then please keep in mind that this might be a little spoilery. So, we'll just wave our hands again when it's spoilery for Inhumans IMAX. And then Ollie and Zach have both seen the IMAX Inhumans premiere. For Ollie, it was the first time that he's seen IMAX anything.
Yes.
And then for Zach, he's a veteran. So... So take it away, y'all, Inhumans.
Oh, boy.
I know you're just cringing over there.
Look, I took a lot of time to think about this, like, after I saw it. But I have to be honest, like, I'm generally a person who tries to, like, see the positives in shows. Like, there are a lot of shows that are, like, quote unquote, like, not great TV or, like, not perfect, but I still enjoy, and I know the difference. The Inhumans premiere, like the first 2 episodes they showed in IMAX, was offensively bad.
Yikes.
It offended me as a Marvel fan. It offended me as a writer. It offended me it as just like a person, like in the way that it tried to like portray certain things, it hurt to watch at times.
Okay, can you give me
Yikes.
something specific, or maybe like not too?
Okay, yeah. Well, I'm gonna get just spoiler warning because I don't know where this rant is going to take me.
Okay.
It felt like Scott Buck didn't like. I feel this Scott. For those who don't know, this was showrun by Scott Buck, who also did Iron Fist season 1. Famous, like, so the reason he got these series is that he apparently is very good at bringing shows in under budget. That's like how he's known around Hollywood circles, and so they gave him 2 shows that are should be very expensive to do. But the problem is these episodes, like in Inhumans, you can see without a shadow of a doubt where the story was deliberately changed to save money. And it's not for good reasons. Like, there are ways to change a story or, like, alter, like, the direction of something that makes it less expensive, that makes you not have to use as many visual effects. Like, all of these things are possible. But big spoiler warning, when they shave Medusa's head off within the first episode of the show, that is a betrayal of everything that that you're trying to do. One, it's this weird Maximus, who's played by Ewan Rion, is like trying to make a move on Medusa. Like, you should have married. You ever think what would happen if you married me? And then he like puts his hand on her shoulder, and it's like sort of this like creepy sexual assaulty move that he makes. And then she uses her hair to throw him up against the wall. It was not terrible CGI. It wasn't fantastic, but it wasn't.
I actually liked it a lot.
It wasn't that bad.
Huge improvement.
You can see that it's CGI.
Yeah,
but it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
It wasn't flat like the wig in the photos.
Well, at times you saw the wig; it was so hard and like did not move.
Yeah,
and you can totally tell the difference with like. It reminded me a lot of the Fantastic Four.
there's some places to cut budget on. It's not on that.
It's like,
not
nope,
when
we can't
that's
reshoot
the main thing with that character. But please, Zach.
Yes, please continue.
Yeah. But then, and he proceeds to like take out a standard buzzer from a barbershop on the moon in Adelan, and shaves her head. And not that Serinda Swan's performance in that moment was like bad or anything, but that moment was not earned.
Doesn't sound
Medusa losing her hair, like, yes, she is much more than just her hair. There's a lot more to that character than just her hair. But that is a moment that would have come at the end of season 2, maybe. At the earliest. Like, that's something when you've lived with this character, you've connected with her, you like want her to do well, like you care about her, and for her to lose the thing that means the most to her in this world. We never even heard her talk about how much she liked her hair. We just saw it in one cool visual effects scene. And he chopped it off because they couldn't afford to keep her hair. I have a list of things. But like, that is just, the writing throughout the show is amateurish. Okay. It feels like it was like a first pass that never got punched up. Both episodes were written by Scott Buck as well. So like, if I'm blaming him, it's because he put himself on the chopping block. He's the showrunner, and he wrote both of these first episodes.
Did he write the first one of Iron Fist? I'm trying to think if he wrote the first and second, because I think those were my least favorite. But yeah,
I don't know which
not to
ones,
interrupt.
But
though.
So it's on you at this point, Scott.
Chat room can find that out for me.
But like but that just shows that like a lack of caring about the characters. Like,
he did, by the way.
Okay, because that whole thing with Danny Rand saying that he was from the clan of the Crane Mother, and I was like, what? But okay, I'm not. Please continue, Zach. It's just that really took me out.
Yeah,
okay.
But there's just like there's problems with like what they set up in like. So the main crux of these episodes is Maximus has been organizing a coup to take over because he doesn't like Black Bolt. Because when he went through the Terrigenesis, he came out human,
Yeah, well, supposedly, right?
Yeah.
Supposedly human.
Well,
He might have the tremendous psychic powers, but maybe we don't know.
I think
yet.
I think it's going to happen later in the season, is what
Yeah.
they're sort of implying, because they very clearly, like, just in case you weren't sure, are like, sometimes powers take a long time to manifest. And then he sees a little boy go through a similar thing who was like a seer, like sees the future, which is like, wait, did you just read Civil War 2 and we're like, oh, guy sees the future, I'm gonna put this here, but not as interestingly, because they're just not going to tackle the actual issues behind that. So they have a caste system that's set up here, but they don't really go into like why. So it sort of looks like the royals are the bad guys, but not in like there's two sides to this. They just sort of ignore that fact that like the royals have been like luxuriously living above everyone and like shoving people into the mines. There's an interesting concept there, but it's not explored.
They don't have Black Bolt as in, like a hero to his people or anything like that.
No, he's just sort of
there.
A dick king who doesn't talk.
Okay.
It's not that Anson Mount was bad in these episodes, but he didn't do anything.
Yeah, and I think
good.
It's like, since we don't know who he is, casual fans who haven't read comics, they're kind of like, why isn't he talking? Like, we have not explored that at all. So it was very, like, my little sister, I brought her to the theater, and she doesn't know anything about Inhumans, so she was just kind of like, what's this guy's deal? Why isn't he speaking? Oh, it's because he's going to kill people. He's going to destroy everything if he speaks a single word. So
that needed to come faster, and they did show a scene like explaining that, but it was just like, it was too long for something so weird. And the fact that like he's using sign language, which I think is great, but he's not using ASL.
Actual ASL.
Yeah, which is a point that we've brought up before.
Yeah, and Buck tried to explain that away with like, oh, well, they live on the moon, they wouldn't have the same.
They're speaking English.
They're speaking English. Like you can have an olive branch out to people who to actual deaf viewers by using real ASL, because they wouldn't speak English either, Buck.
Yeah, find it in your budget to teach your actor ASL, and then just open up that door for other people.
Exactly. And I like Wildstar Studios. Here's a comment: Medusa's haircut equals Deadpool's mouth sewn shut.
Nice. Well, something like, continue with your points, but if you can also maybe comment on how Inhumans and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. crossover might happen.
Yes.
So bring that into it.
I don't think it will. They've been very clear that it's not going to. They make small references to it. Like the opening scene, we see a young Inhuman girl running through the jungles of Hawaii, and then Triton shows up.
To save her?
Yeah, to save her. And then it's this really hacky dialogue about
I'm guessing she's getting hunted down.
Yeah,
there's
guys, we don't know who these people are, but they're hunting her for some reason. So we're just we're scared for her for that reason. But Triton shows up, and it's like, they fear you for what we are, and then what are we? We're a human. There's no context, or there's no reason to stop and explain this. The makeup job is
not great.
A student job.
Yeah.
There's no depth to it. It's just a green flat mask. On top of this guy.
It looks pretty bad to me.
Could have done so much more, but so the fact that she is one of the Inhumans that's created as a result of what happened on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is
that was
the base connection.
Season 2, or was
season 2 is where that all started.
Yeah, where the contamination happened, and then some humans got contaminated with the Terrigen mists in different forms, like in pill forms, and because it contaminated the ocean.
That's where where it gets even more interesting, and why again, Scott Buck did not care about these things. He didn't put the time or the effort in, because they make reference to the Inhumans have a way of watching over the earth. They can see through and watch places. And they make reference to the Terrigen got in through it contaminated the water supply. Which is only vaguely true. That's the Wikipedia version of what happened, because it's actually not in the water supply. It's in
the ecosystem.
It fell into the ocean, and then fish ate some of the Terrigen, and it's through fish that people are getting their powers. It's not actually in the water, because it's not communicable that way.
Right.
I know that because I'm a huge nerd and I watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
But like I watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and I knew how it worked, and they said they said it wrong.
Yeah.
And there's no reason for it to be wrong. It's not about like somebody misunderstood. It was just incorrect.
Yeah.
And it's that's lack of caring that goes throughout the show. There's so much forcing the plot forward and not caring about like how things happen.
Yeah, well, Buck does confirm that the royal family will be aware of Quake, so there's that.
Are they?
That's what he said. He said that would happen.
That they're going to say
that they're
something
gonna
on the show?
That they're aware of that. So
They're
aware of,
or they just
they're aware
know
of
it?
her. So yeah.
They probably just know it, and he's like, no, they're thinking about it. They're thinking about it quick. Look, if they acknowledge Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and it's like just it's a dodge that to help us be surprised, I think that's great. I like being surprised. But so far, like they were wrong on one front.
Okay.
Yeah,
Ollie, you can chime
Ollie,
in too.
jump in here.
Well,
Yeah.
to me, I just feel like it comes off as like a season 2. Like we're jumped in, we don't know these characters. I think Surinder Swan is an incredible actress. Like I didn't really know her beforehand, but she did such a great job. However, it's hard to like any of the characters except for Lockjaw. And
Lockjaw's adorable, and they spent all their money on Lockjaw.
But it's really heartbreaking as a comic book fan knowing that these characters, the abilities that they have, they're so condensed in this version that ABC is doing, Scott Buck's doing. And I wanted Medusa just like, use that hair, get those guards off of you. And Crystal, she couldn't take on Elrond at one point. And guys with rifles, I was like, are you kidding me? Like, what is this?
Yeah.
So
there's a problem with just like the way that they use the powers and the way they showed off. Like Karnak, I think they had a very interesting idea.
Yeah.
A very
And
good idea.
Karnak's a mutant that he can discover, not a mutant, sorry, Inhuman, that he can discover a flaw in anything. Flaw in a strategy, flaw in a fighting
he can
style,
see the
in a
weakness
wall.
in anything.
Right.
And the way they show that is you see a squad of guys come up against him, and we see him like fight them and then seemingly get killed. And then you see him like walking around and like studying it, and there's these like light patterns with like lines through the air with the Inhuman language, and this is him like plotting out like, okay, well that wouldn't work. What if I did this? Red circle. Okay, what this? And that's actually a really cool way, because that's if you just showed what happened, it would just be a guy fighting really well.
Yeah.
That'd be it. It would be boring.
No, you'd want to see the process and the strategy in it. Not every single time, but definitely the first couple, and then like a big battle at the end.
Yeah, so like that was cool. But after they all get sent down to Hawaii, because the producers wanted to go to Hawaii, there's no other reason for them to be all in Hawaii.
Hey, Adam Sandler told him it was great.
After they get transported down, he's like climbing down a small hill, like a little cliff area, and a branch breaks and he falls and hits his head and he's knocked unconscious. So you're telling me that this guy's whose ability is to sense the structural weakness in anything, he can psychically look around a squad of people and take them down in an instant, but he couldn't sense that the root was going to give out on this tiny hill. That's just not. It's bad writing. That meant you needed Karnak to lose his abilities, because then he gets up and he can't quite make everything out. You needed him to be damaged so that he could like be lost in Hawaii, and we can play this game of, oh, we're from a different society and we don't understand regular things. Like Black Bolt does this stupid thing where he goes into a shop and doesn't really understand how stores work.
Oh, okay.
And then he
All right. Well, what's something that you both enjoyed with it? Because we're running close to the end of our time to be able to have Zach. So just something that kind of stuck out where it's like, you know what? I like this thing.
I would say I think I like the cast. I enjoy seeing the cast. Surinder Swan, like I said, she's great. And it's interesting. I think that the take that they're going on is that they're humanizing the Inhumans, at least the royal family. Because, they're always on this pedestal, but now, they're dropped to Earth. They don't have anything. So it's interesting that we're going to learn about them through that aspect. So We'll see. I'm gonna stick around. I'm gonna stick around, y'all, and I'll watch it. and I'll tell you what you think.
All right, Zach, is there
Lockjaw was adorable.
There we
and
go.
that,
We
and that.
Lockjaw, like
Hashtag always Lockjaw.
Lockjaw doesn't
So
talk,
cute.
so his dialogue couldn't be ruined with bad writing.
Oh, because
Like,
he's just adorable dog.
The
Giant
other
dog.
the other thing that I want to make sure, because I said offensively bad, and there was
Okay.
one thing in particular that stood out to me as just like, I don't know if you're pandering or if you're just like, or this is just after Black Bolt like shoplifts a suit, because he can understand like a bunch of things later. Like he understands how mug shots work when he winds up at the police station.
Right.
Like he knows where, without being told, where to go to get his picture taken. But he doesn't understand that he has to pay for a suit and that might be bad.
Don't they have access to TV? I thought that was one of the things.
They
that
do. They
did.
can watch.
So,
but like this is what I
Do
mean.
we not show how stores work in
That's what I mean.
television?
This
Are there
is-
no transactions?
This is the problem.
Okay. It picks and chooses what they're going to be naive about instead of
Yeah.
making it be believable.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then what happens is, so a cop tries to stop him for shoplifting, and he like breaks the cop's arm and handcuffs him in the middle of the street. And then a bunch of other cops show up, and there's this bizarre police brutality sequence where it's like 6 cops with batons just
Remember that from the trailer.
beating the hell out of him. But it goes on for like 30 seconds, like way
Okay.
longer than it needed to.
Okay.
And it
To
felt like
to
they
make
were,
him oof.
yeah, but
Yeah.
that was just the first hit. Then he's
Oh.
down on the ground and they're beating him. This is what why I say it's
Okay.
like they were. I think they were trying to do some kind of commentary on police brutality because he's different. He's an Inhuman, and so they're attacking him. But that it wasn't what happened. There's nothing about that. Like Luke Cage did that in a way that elevated the conversation.
Right.
This just did it because like, oh, look how bad these police are. They're hurting our hero. And then we moved on.
All right. Well,
And that like there's no depth to this show. And there needs to be. And I didn't find
there
I
could
didn't,
be, but they didn't.
yeah.
Yeah.
That, and they like killed a character, and then in the in the mid credit
post-credits.
scene immediately brought her back 5
Yeah.
minutes later.
Okay.
5 minutes. She wasn't even dead.
Are you gonna
for
say
it.
who that?
No, we don't need
That's
to.
why I said
We
that
don't need
character.
to.
Like those who have seen it know what I'm talking about, but like,
Yeah.
come on.
So, but with Inhumans, so the theatrical version is 75 minutes. That is edited down. It is the first 2 episodes called The First Chapter. It's going to be 84 minutes in its entirety when it's aired on ABC, and that'll
there's
be
more of it?
Friday, September
Yeah.
29th. Apparently,
I don't want to watch it again.
apparently
And more.
Scott Buck edited out an entire storyline from the IMAX version.
Do we know what?
We do not. We don't know what he edited out. But apparently it was, so that's kind of something that you might want to see if you watch it on ABC. And also, Scott Buck revealed that Lockjaw will be in every single episode.
Reason to watch, people.
Hashtag always Lockjaw.
They locked him in a room.
Oh.
Yeah,
They locked Lockjaw in a room?
And
Maximus
And he
locked the
couldn't,
room.
and
He
he
couldn't
couldn't
teleport.
He couldn't teleport out of the room?
Nope.
Okay.
it's a very special room.
Oh,
Maybe because his favorite ball was in the room, so he decided not to.
one more good thing I'll say
Okay.
that this has shown me. Iwan Rheon is a phenomenal actor. If you thought it was just a
Awesome.
one-note thing from Ramsey Bolton, he is a phenomenal actor. You can see him struggling against the dialogue that he's been given, and he manages to make a lot of it great, even when the words are bad. There are times where he's not capable of doing that because no one is. But he is a phenomenal actor, and I can't wait to see him not typecast
Yes.
as a like betraying royal kingseeker.
Okay.
And see what else he can do.
Simon,
All right,
Simon
nice.
and Misfits. He was awesome in Misfits. Okay.
Okay, great.
Okay.
yeah.
I'm so sorry that I got so
Thank
angry,
you.
guys.
Okay.
But I feel a lot better. I feel like I've cleared. So I
Okay,
have to.
so spoiler alert off.
Yeah. I have to run. I have to go
Yeah.
back to work because they think I'm just at lunch.
Thanks for joining us for your
Thank you,
Inhumans
Zach.
rant.
And,
And,
if you guys want to tell me I'm wrong. If you disagree, like if you liked Inhumans, wonderful. I'm glad somebody did. I just
Yeah.
did it. So,
So
like
where can
everyone's
they-
entitled to their opinion. Tell me your opinion.
Yes, where can they follow you on social media?
At that Zach Wilson, ThatZachWilson. And look for me when Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. comes back in January on AfterBuzz TV. And we just did the Defenders after show on AfterBuzz. We binged all of them in like a one weekend thing.
Nice.
So if you're still watching Defenders, you can check that out on AfterBuzz TV's YouTube page or iTunes.
And we loved having Doom.
Yes.
Get out of here. Don't get in
Always.
trouble.
No, don't leave.
Don't get in
Doom.
trouble for us. Ollie.
Here
Coming
I
up
come,
here.
guys.
All right,
Matt
while
keep putting in
they
good
do
work
that
for me.
transition, we're going to continue on. So with Luke Cage Season 2, they are bringing back Comanche. Comanche, that is played by Thomas Q. Jones. He's a former NFL running back from University of Virginia. Bye, dude.
We'll miss you.
So, yes, he'll return as Comanche in Season 2, and that has been confirmed by blackfilm.com. So, Comanche, he was one of the... he was with Shades, that's played by Theo Rossi, and in the comics, Comanche and Shades are very minor characters. They just tend to pop up every now and again and kind of be... They're not buddies of Luke Cage, but they respect him in a certain way. They do... he does earn their respect at a certain part. But you see Comanche in Seagate Prison. And he's also a street criminal, grew up in Harlem. So have that to look forward to for Luke Cage. So Daredevil Season 3. So it's a possibility that a villain was revealed. A villain was revealed.
By the way, it's so weird being up here.
Is it?
I'm not sure if I like it. But I get to be closer to you, Markia.
So there you go.
You're so beautiful.
Oh, thanks, Ollie. The hashtag show has a breakdown of a character description for Daredevil Season 3, and it lists the following. 28 to 35, 5'9 to 6'1, open ethnicity, an athletic but socially awkward FBI agent needs structure and rules to suppress the darkness inside of him, athletic with medium build, responsible and resourceful, hair trigger temper. Series regular. So this leaves many to believe that it's going to be Sneider, also known as Stanley Carter. So in the comics, he's a SHIELD agent. He volunteers, as one is wont to do. You volunteer for military drug treatments,
Wouldn't
experimental
you?
stuff. Of course you will.
Yes,
Superpowers.
powers.
Oh, it might drive you mad. Also.
Are we going to be grounded, though?
Oh no.
Okay. 'Cause I think we should incorporate more cosmic, into Netflix,
Oh, so there you go. Yeah, but with Stanley Carter, his madness is triggered by the loss of his partner as a NYPD detective. There's this whole thing with him as Sin Eater. It's kind of like Punisher, but the guy that you already don't want to run into Punisher, you really don't want to run into Sin Eater. So, that's interesting that they would possibly have him as a Daredevil villain. That would be strong.
Do you think they would actually do the skull with the green? Would you?
Yeah, because think about it. When Daredevil went up against Punisher, Punisher kind of had the upper hand there, right? And he was able to, it kind of seemed like they had a respect and a reasoning. With Sin Eater, there's no reasoning. There's no mutual respect given. There's just, hey, there's just Sin Eater. So, yeah, fun thing. So with movies... So it's a possibility that a Night Watch film might be in the works with Spike Lee as director. So this is a new rumor. It's courtesy of Meet the Press's Jeff Sneider. Suggests that, that they might have a Night Watch solo film. So he's reportedly very confident in this rumor and went on to say that Edward Rycourt from Now You See Me and Wayward Pines, and of course Spike Lee, which you should know for everything, but you do know from Do the Right Thing, Malcolm X, is being eyed to direct. So with Night Watch, for those that aren't familiar, he's Dr. Kevin Trench. And okay, think of it this way. You see a costume superhero and he's fighting a bunch of bad guys and he's defeated, bad guys go away, and you walk over to the costume superhero and then you pull the mask off and you see an older version of yourself. That's the beginning of Night Watch's story. So
as a film, I think I kind of want that as a series. Wouldn't you want that as a series? It sounds so much more interesting.
Yeah, but I mean, can everything be a series?
Honestly.
That's the thing.
But the thing is, this is real quick, but I think what's powerful about films and why they're so captivating, like people will pay money to go see Avengers, is because you're sitting there, you're not at home, you have your full attention, unless you're texting. I don't text in theaters. I'm respectful people. But you get to really give your full attention to the screen, and if it's a good film, then, whereas if you're at home, you might not be you might be passively watching it, so
Yeah.
There's pros and cons to everything.
There really is. And I see a number of people in the chat room that are like, Night Watch looks like Spawn.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I guess I could kind of see it, with the cape and everything. Keeping in mind though, with Night Watch, there's this whole line where it goes to it's nanotechnology. I mean, there aren't any things with like demons or clowns. There isn't anything like that. He is not an anti-hero. He is not a bad guy. He's actually a good guy trying to do good things. And time travel's involved. So don't let the cape and his exterior fool you. He's definitely not Spawn. It's not a Spawn story.
Gamer girl in the chat, she's like, so it's a superhero movie version of Looper?
Oh, that's fun. Okay, so with some Deadpool news, so Josh Brolin posted a new photo, and it was Cable with Slash. Yeah. And he goes, other than how stoked I am that I was born with the absolute largest skull in the Western hemisphere, next comes the excitement that comes with the uber-talented Scruff Mister Slash and his lovely Megan visiting El Sarcastic and I on the set of Dread Reservoir.
Oh my god.
Oh, Dead Reservoir. Yeah. Oh, those that don't know Slash, you know Slash and you don't realize that you know Slash. So Guns N' Roses, Velvet Revolver, Paradise City,
just
Sweet Child of Mine,
seeing him
Appetite for Destruction.
Seeing him next to Josh Brolin as Cable. Looking better and better.
So we don't know if there's a cameo that's happening or if he was just visiting the set, but I want
at least
there's
going to be some music, involved.
So there's going to be a little bit of Slash in Deadpool 2. We confirmed that, so we're just going to go ahead and confirm. Actually, wait, what was that, Matt Key? Oh yeah, Matt Key confirms that.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, he's in the headphones. You didn't hear him. Oh, speaking of which, Matt Key and Coy will be back next week. They are officially burned men.
Wait,
they are exhausted.
It's over with, right?
It's over with. They're back in town, but they are exhausted.
Burnt out.
Yes. So some more Deadpool 2 news. So we have a set photo that teases possible mutant crackdown. So there are photos that appear to reveal the Mutant Response Division, or RPD. It's kind of had a look that's constant with that. And for those that don't know, with the the Mutant
MRD.
Response MRD. What did I say? MRP?
MRP?
No.
Yeah.
In any case, it deals with the legacy virus, and depending on where they're going to pick that up, just the very fact that they would have Cable, and then also we see MRD, that just speaks legacy virus. At least to me, it definitely does. For this, so quick little background on legacy virus. So Strife, who is Cable but not Cable, kind of like the bad guy version of Cable, he releases this virus through a series of machinations where the legacy virus is going to attack the X gene. And then along with that, there's this whole complicated thing that happens. A lot of people can get infected. There's different versions of the legacy virus, legacy 1, 2, and then eventually 3, and so on and so forth. And then it comes all down to, in the comics, it comes down to a single mutant sacrificing himself so that the cure can then be released for the legacy virus. So of the mutants that we have in Deadpool 2, it's very interesting that in the comics, the mutant that it is also exists in Deadpool 2. So we don't know. Speculation.
Yes. Hopefully, my only thing is hopefully they're not juggling too many concepts within Deadpool 2. That's my only, because come on, we already have Cable, Domino added, so I know, but
if they're trying to, I don't know, if they're trying to battle finding a cure for the legacy virus, I mean, it's a possibility. We'll see where they go with it. But continuing on. So with Dark Phoenix, so Simon Kinberg has described his approach to X-Men's Dark Phoenix saga. And now he says that he's going to find a way to ground Dark Phoenix so it's not too intergalactic, stressing that the X-Men movies are human and emotional. So
here we go again.
So we'll see. It's just one of those. I don't like the term grounded anymore.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't like it either. I mean, Dark Phoenix can fly. How are you gonna ground Dark Phoenix like that?
It's so cosmically awesome. This woman destroys a planet. she can destroy just about. It's.
I think it's time for X-Men to go into space. Why not now? And and in one film, like, how are we gonna do this? We can't do this in one film. Oh my goodness. And I love Sophie Turner as Jean Grey. I think she can do a really good job.
But it's like, oh goodness, it's gonna be another train wreck because Apocalypse was so bad.
Yeah, it's just there's a thing when they try to do too much within one movie, and then that's when you get something like Apocalypse, where it's just a little bit of everything, so
Yeah.
nothing's shining like it could. And then there's having something that's way too grounded, and just you don't need to take out everything.
Yeah.
Yes, we're in it for the characters. I mean, yes, above and foremost, we're in it for the characters and the writing. I mean, I think I've said this before. Was it writing, acting, and then special effects? If you don't have one, you have to have the other two. So that's it. If you're going to take the special effects, you're going to take the cosmic, fine, but you have to have the writing, you have to have the acting. So that's my opinion. But moving on, because we spent about half an hour on Inhumans. So with Thor news, just talking about this. So Tessa Thompson, she explains her issue with male writers writing female characters. And that's not only her, also Jenkins from Wonder Woman also says this. And that's the use of the word badass, where, badass in the sense that it doesn't just mean one good thing. It kind of means like you have to encompass all of these things within one term. So I understand what she's saying. It can be a writer's way of saying, she's like, she's tough. And then straight after that, it's like, she's badass, but she's got a beauty about her and she's sexy, unconsciously sexy. So yeah, it's kind of unfair to just do it as that one term. It's kind of like how my reaction with grounded is. Yeah. Now when I hear grounded, I'm like, I don't want that. When it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's the context that it's constantly used in. Yeah. So I get where...
expand the language and learn to make a proper sentence. Even myself.
Use synonyms, people.
Come on.
Yeah. But I'm continuing with Thor. So we have Jeff Goldblum. He teases the Grandmaster's games in Thor Ragnarok. So Goldblum spoke about his character to Los Angeles Times, and he's hinting at Grandmaster's motivations. So Goldblum said, if you followed the comic books, he's one of the elders in the universe. His brother is a collector, immortal, has fought and beaten death. His superpowers galore, and his games are playful sort.
Marky, have you ever considered being a voice actor?
I haven't, but I've seen a lot of Jeff Goldblum movies. Oh, yes. I think I've seen just about everything that the Big Chill has done.
Well, November, we're going to see another film of Goldblum. Yeah. Super excited. Cannot wait. That picture's like teasing me.
Man. Just love me some Goldblum. Here. Yeah, and the picture that we have up there, it's Goldblum. Behind him is Topaz, which is played by Rachel House. You know her from The Hunt for the Wilder People. And behind, next to her is Tessa Thompson playing Valkyrie.
I'm excited to see about Topaz too, because we know nothing about nothing. She has not been having any screen time yet. So
hey, we're gonna see what she's gonna be up to. I'm looking forward to it. November 3rd, so right around the corner. So and then talking about things that are right around the corner, and this actually can be in your own home. So Spider-Man Homecoming will be on Blu-ray, and it has 80+ minutes of additional content. It's going to be happening, and that's going to be expected to hit home flat screens about mid-October.
That's so soon.
Yes, it's right on. It's going to get you through October.
Yes, it's
and November's going to be right there.
Nice little treat.
So, and also with Spider-Man, so the writers are going to be back for the sequel, and John Watts is negotiating his return. So screenwriting duo Chris McKenna and Eric Summers are in final negotiations to pen the web slingers follow-up adventure. So this is according to The Hollywood Reporter. So, and they're also in talks to bring back John Watts. So McKenna and Summers have previously worked on Community, Mindy Project, American Dad. They contributed to the Lego Batman movie. So there's a lot of really great credits in there.
Good. Community, are you kidding me?
It's good to have them back. Yes. So yes, so Infinity War. So it's a possibility that Gamora and Nebula have a flashback scene in Avengers 4. So it was a Red Cross donation drive video, and it's a bunch of our actors together, and it's a really great cause. And one can't help but notice that Gamora and Nebula are wearing their Guardians of the Galaxy 1 costumes.
So flashback. So
yeah.
What do you think's gonna happen?
I think that they would have to. If anything, it will give us some more background on Thanos' Black Order. So yeah, go ahead and give us a quick 30-second, 45 seconds, a minute of what it was like, growing up there, or just something before they left.
I kind of wish they had younger like versions of themselves and
That
seeing
would
them
be even
battle.
better.
You know, her arm being torn off or something like that to exchange for the mechanical part for Nebula. That would have been like so much more heartbreaking. Us hating Thanos even more. But this is gonna be really cool. Seeing them, it's just a nice little throwback to when the first one came out.
Yeah, it makes you want to rewatch, definitely.
Yes.
So, yes. And then in that same video, we see that Ant-Man's new costume in Avengers 4 is revealed. I don't know if you caught that, but yes, you can see it right there. It's a little sleeker, has more black to it. It kind of seems like it is a good complement to the Wasp now with like this particular
I need
outfit,
to see them.
so.
I need to see them with their helmets right now.
Yeah.
But I think
it's like just show me the movie. Just show me the
everyone's
movie.
due for a costume upgrade in each film, so it's expected for sure.
So then, of course, continue with Infinity War. So, and of course, there's the Wanda and Vision storyline in Infinity War, and Paul Bettany, who plays Vision, he spoke briefly on it. And this is just a nice, sweet part of, Avengers Infinity War, where we know it's going to be, hashtag, what was it last time? Hashtag Infinity Gore.
Oh my God, no! Darn you, Alan Kistler. He ruins all my dreams. He called Medusa out with the hair being stripped episode 1, so he is a dream ruiner. He's ruining Ollie Dreamer's dreams.
Yeah, he sees all the in and outs of everything. But Paul Bettany, and he said this at the Wizard World Comic-Con, it was about the romance that the superhero that he shares with a Scarlet Witch, which is Elizabeth Olsen. Wait, he has an accent. I'm not going to. I think
short. You could do.
I think for both Lizzie and I, it's the most exciting plot line of each of us so far.
Very good. Very good.
Like close enough. So yeah, that's just something sweet. Give us a little sweetness.
Because they've been teasing it. They've been teasing it all.
So
this
then,
long.
of course, Thanos. There's some new Thanos promo art revealed. So MCU Exchange shared a new look at Thanos. It shows Thanos' new look for the film and a fully equipped Infinity Gauntlet. Now, some people are going to be like, "Oh, wait, isn't that on his? Is that on the opposite hand?" And it's possible that this is just a reversed image.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't worry too much about that. But one thing that is interesting with it is how, think about when you first saw Thanos and he was sitting down in his floating throne, and how he had just about everything on. And now he's just scaled down to like, oh, well, I guess it's time to go kill some warriors. It's the thought that he takes off all that necessary armor to then...
It's even more menacing. It's like you have nothing on, but yet you're so powerful. He doesn't need it, but he's obviously... Avengers 4, he's gonna have it on.
Yeah, it's like if you're showing up for like a schoolyard fight or something, and one person has like all of this, they made something in shop, and then the other one just shows up in a tank top. My vote's on the tank top.
Yeah, he has Vaseline and everything. He's ready to go.
To like escape. All right. Okay, and we're gonna finish with Punisher. So, like with Punisher, and it's right around the corner too. And really looking forward to this. Because we already know that Jessica Jones was the closest that we came to R rating for what it feels like with Marvel's Netflix. And now we have Punisher with his series. And there was a new Punisher photo that was released. It's from Empire. And it's taken from a flashback. It shows John Bernthal's Frank Castle. It's definitely looks like pre-Punisher days, where he's like in his tactical sniper gear. And he's a, U.S. Marine Corps. And this particular one, it looks like he's in a battle zone type area. He's up against a very rough-hewn stone wall, and he's definitely in the middle of some action. So we know that we're going to find out a little more about, Frank's tactical background and his backstory. So I'm really looking forward to that because, that's... his origins are going to be kind of hard to watch, I feel.
I just love it when they introduce a character in a season who we don't really know, and then finally, like with Punisher, we're going to get to know everything about Punisher. And it's really exciting to see, but I'm still pushing for that Elektra Netflix original series. So.
Oh, that would be nice.
But yeah, I'm so excited for Punisher. It's so soon. And the whole... Are you going to talk about the Morse code yet? Or
yes, I'm going to continue with that. While I do that, can you check our chat room for any? Yeah.
Of course.
So with John Bernthal, of course they interviewed him and said Bernthal of Castle's killing sprees is the only thing that silences the demons temporarily. there's going to be an attempt to move beyond the Punisher. But that's something he can't shake. There's part of me that's hungry to get back into the darkness, that's excited to see it fall apart. So, with Punisher, is going to be, some quick facts. Showrunner Steve Lightfoot, you know him from Hannibal, so oh my God, and Causality. There's probably the possible release date for this year, probably November. I'm thinking like weekend before Thanksgiving, just because with Jessica Jones, they released that, I think it was like November 20th. Chat room can check me on that, when it came out, so you can get a proper Thanksgiving binge in. And so the cast, we have Ben Barnes as Billy Russo, also known as Jigsaw, Ebon Moss-Barack as Micro, Amber Rose Riva as Dinah Madani, and Deborah Ann Wall as Karen Page, of course. And then, as we said last week, Shorai Agdashlu as Farah Madani.
Oh, Shorai Agdashlu.
Thank you.
So awesome. I love her.
So, and the filming took place in Brooklyn as well as Astoria, Queens. So, moving on. And then, of course, with Punisher, they released a 13-episode title list, and they released it in the best Punisher way possible. On the Punisher Twitter account, you can check now, and we should have a screenshot up for those that are looking at us on YouTube. They released it in Morse code tweets. So all 13 episodes, but read in Morse code. So if you want to go ahead and check that, great. I'll read off the episode titles in just regular. I'm not going to sit here and be like dot, dash, dot, pause, stop. So episode 1 is 3 a.m. 2, 2 dead men. 3, Kandahar. I'm thinking that was a flashback episode. Episode 4, Resupply. 5, Gunner. 6, The Judas Goat. 7, Crosshairs. 8, Cold Steel. 9, Front Toward Enemy. 10, Virtue of the Vicious. 11, Danger Close. 12, Home. And 13, Memento Mori. Ooh, Remember the Dead. I love that. What do you think about those titles, Ollie?
I'm ready for the Judas Goat. I love straightforward titles. I love it so much because they sound so eerie and like violent. I'm ready for them.
He sounds like he means business, and he's the Punisher. Of course, he means business. And okay, so we're doing decently on time.
Yeah.
We've got about 4 minutes left. So that brings us to Merry Marvellites. So our shout outs for today, Entree Humane at Entree Humane, Stephanie M. Jandro, hey Stephanie, at Seth Amethyst, Michael White at Fet K Kane 32, Jennifer Moore at Jennifer Moore 3, AJ Fairnot at Cad Bane 1996, Kristen Deaton at Kristen Deaton, Dayton Buchanan at Dayton Buchanan, Wes Sager at Wes Sager. These are really easy this week, y'all. Nathan Ramirez at Ramirez Nathan 77, Jacques like Jacques at Darren Jacques. Hey Darren. And Charles Lee at Goofy Fan _ Chuck, Biochemistry at Kimberly Ann Moots, Mike Clark at Nonviolent69, and Jar Silvara at Sexy Jar Bearer. And a birthday shout out to Daniel Drew at Jedi Time saying, so on Saturday, September 9th, you're turning 27. So happy birthday,
Happy birthday.
Drew. Happy birthday. And congrats.
He's so awesome.
Yes, congrats on 27. 27 is a good year. Yeah.
Go party. Go party.
Yeah, just have all of that. So SJ for life. Happy belated birthday, Misty Panther. You can finally drink legally now. Great show as always.
Well,
you snuck that one in there.
I did. Now you know your superhero name.
Misty Panther. I like that. I'll make that my wrestling name too. Two birds with one stone. Misty Panther. I love it.
Or Black Knight,
Ooh, there we go. Misty Domino.
Giving you some options there.
So, so Entree Humane says, am I the only one getting a lot of De Niro vibes in all the best ways from John Bernthal? He radiates emotional fury as Frank Castle. I enjoy that. Yes, he does. Yeah,
I agree.
That's a fair point. And then Ashley Houchins. Yes, I said that right. Any chance we see Zarathos appear either in the MCU or Marvel Netflix? Sure. I would like to see Mephisto first if we were going to have them. But hey, if you're going to have another angel of justice kind of a thing, then Zarathos is cool. I like Ghost Rider. I don't see any reason to bring any of the others in right now, but Netflix, if anything, I actually kind of don't want TV to try to do any more really huge special effects anymore.
I wonder why,
Not
Markia.
really huge ones. I want them to just
why.
to back off of it for a second
Okay.
and let Netflix or let maybe Hulu. I haven't seen what Hulu could do
Hulu.
with special effects. We'll see what they do with Runaways.
Yes, and I have
I'm hearing good
big
things.
hopes
I'm looking
for
forward to
Runaways.
it. Okay, well that brings us to the end of our show right now. And Matt and Coy will be back next week. And want
they
to thank
will.
Zach again for being
Yes,
on the show.
King
And then,
Doom.
of course, Ollie. Where can they find you, Ollie?
Guys, find me on all social media platforms at Ollie Dreamer. And if you're into cosplay like me, check out my Instagram page at Ollie Cosplays.
Yes, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Markia McCarty. That's MarkiaMcCarty. And then also tomorrow on AfterBuzz TV, because today is Tuesday. So Wednesdays at 7, I cover the Mae Young Classic. So we'll be doing episodes 5 through 8, also known as Round 2. I have an all-female panel.
Yes, as it should be.
Yes.
How's it been? Good?
It's been good. It's been good. There are a lot of fundamentals of wrestling, but good character building, and yeah, it's very interesting to see. So please tune in that, and we'll see you this time next week, 2 p.m. PST.
Bye, guys.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network. The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.